Trustee Rainey.
Here.
Trustee Rhodes.
Here. We have a forum, and I call the meeting to order. Trustees, please remember that only audit committee members should participate in discussions on agenda items or cast votes on action items. The minutes for the April 10th, 2026 audit committee meeting and audit committee executive session were circulated in advance. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, I move to approve the minutes with the noted corrections. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, signify by saying nay. Minutes are approved. Your meeting materials included proposed internal audit plan for fiscal year 2027. I recognize Mr. Blaine Clemens, Chief Audit Officer, who will provide further information.
Good morning, trustees. Office of Internal Audit prepares an annual audit plan at the beginning of each fiscal year. The plan is based on the staffing and time resources available to perform audits. This is prepared in conjunction with an annual risk analysis of the university's auditable areas. We solicit the input of a variety of stakeholders for the plan, including audit committee members, president, SLT, and others, to gain insight into what areas should be considered. Being the audit plan, I want to highlight some of the things on here. The first thing I want to highlight is the annual audit of the president's office, which is required by law. And I wanted to take a minute to talk about the periodic quality assurance review, because that is not like the other things on this list. So the state law that requires us to follow certain standards, internal audit standards. Those standards require us to do a variety of reviews of our work. There's ongoing reviews that we do every day. There's this periodic review. And then ultimately there's an external review where somebody audits us. That happens every 5 years. So our last audit of us was in 23. The next one will be in the fall of 28. This periodic review is basically me and Beth doing a self-study, kind of ramping up for that external review, making sure that our ducks are in a row. Our standards changed last January. We made some minor revisions to things just to keep the ball moving, but this is a deeper dive into those standards to make sure that we're compliant. Also on the list is university credit cards expenses. It's remarkable that every 2 or 3 years we audit the university credit card use from a university-wide perspective. We do the same thing with travel expenses, so you'll see that in another year. Although we audit credit cards with every departmental audit, this audit kind of covers everybody. And specifically athletics, they're the biggest users of credit cards, whether by transactions or dollars. So auditing these university-wide processes is really our way of getting at the athletics operation. The graphs, sorry. So the graphs tell you kind of what we're doing, right? So this tells you that where we're spending our audit time. You can see that most of our time is going to be in the business ops area, which is institutional support and financial management, which is where it should be. And then the next graph shows you what kind of things we're doing. Risk-based is where we want to spend most of our time. That risk-based percentage is down a little bit because we're kind of siphoning off hours to do that periodic internal assessment, which is required. So this year required percentage is up, risk-based is a little down. But that shows you a good overview of where we're spending our time. And your plan also has it on deck, right? So if we investigate through all of these things, there's some space here to do more audits, and so we put those on there so that it's on. So we have your approval in case we get to those before we present our revised plan in March. Be happy to answer any questions.
Just one question for me, Blaine. What's the biggest challenge you have in these audits? And I think you have one of the most important jobs at the university. And what is your biggest challenge?
Years ago, when audit committee member asked me how long it takes us to audit everything. That's impossible, right? It's just 2 of us. The audit universe changes, the risk environment changes. So I would say our biggest challenge is making sure I am investing our limited time resources in a way that's focused on important risk areas. That being said, we're right-sized. Right Tech has 2 people, MTSU has 2 or 3 people. So I think we're there. It's just a struggle with the complexity of a university to make sure that we're getting everything we should get.
So you have the resources to do what you need.
I feel, yes, sir.
motion to approve the proposed internal audit plan for fiscal year 2027?
So moved.
Been moved, is there a second? Second. Been moved and seconded to approve the proposed internal audit plan for fiscal year 2027 as written. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. There is one information item for the committee to consider. Now, item A, the internal audit report released between March 13, 2026 and May 7, 2026, and the list of outstanding audit recommendations. Mr. Clemens will provide information about this item.
Yes, sir. One report was released during that period of time, an audit of the Boyd Health Services. This was a departmental audit. And so the audit objectives are to provide assurance to the board that everything is working regarding their office, their business operations. There's an introduction that kind of tells you what this office does, what resources they provide to the university, tells you what specific areas we looked at, and then we did have a reportable issue regarding physical security. Physical security is something we look at a lot. If you were to ask people how do they keep things safe, the first thing they say is, I lock my door, the building's, it's only accessible by people for a business reason. And so when we did this, since health services and counseling services, we audited them a few years ago. Those are the only two occupants in this building. So this time, we were able to ask who had access to that building. I'm not sure that's a question they asked before, and found some ways to kind of restrict that access. Management will have that, I think, by the end of June, so we'll do a follow-up to make sure that's taken care of. It's the only item on the outstanding recommendations list, and I anticipate it will come off soon.
Thank you, Mr. Clemens. Are there any questions, Mr. Clemens, or discussion about the internal audit report? This is an information item and requires no action. This concludes the agenda, and I move that the public portion of the audit committee meeting adjourns. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no.